the downside of water cleansing, and this is part two of my last video, my experience. Everybody talks about the good side of water cleansing, the discipline, the mental clarity, the weight coming off. But I want to talk about the other side because my experience wasn't perfect. And before anything, this is my personal experience. Everybody's body and experience can be different. And number one, the potential to binge afterwards. I went 9 days without food, and when I started eating again, I found myself eating. I won't lie, there were some Doritos at home. Some of my family members left like cookies and stuff. Food that wasn't like I wasn't planning on eating. And somebody might look at that and say, but then what's the point of water cleansing, or why do 9 days without food just to binge and then gain the weight back? And that is fair. That's a fair question. But I also think that that's what taught me one of my biggest lessons. And that is, if weight loss is your only reason for doing this, you might be approaching the water cleansing from the wrong mindset. And for me, the bigger purpose was discipline and like reflection, my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit, and stepping away from my normal relationship with food. So the weight loss was like basically a byproduct, not the entire mission. And number two is your physical output can drop. There were days where I didn't have the same energy to train, to even walk, and that's something people need to understand. Going without food while also trying to train extremely hard can be additional stress on your body. And for me, it was like I was really tired, I was getting lazy. So instead of trying to prove how tough I was, I had become comfortable with slowing down. So yeah, walking, resting, hydrating, listening to my body, none of that was what I was doing. And number three is coming off can be harder than staying on. So I actually think this is the part that people don't talk about enough. Not eating is one challenge, but rebuilding a healthy relationship with food afterwards is like a question you ask to yourself. And that's another challenge entirely. You need a plan for what happens after. And number four is the skill can mess with your head. Once you start eating carbohydrates and your sodium again, the scale can jump quickly from glycogen, water, and food weight. And as you can see in my experience, I gained around 10, 12 pounds. That doesn't automatically mean you regained like all the fat you lost. And I'm experiencing that right now. So what's my biggest takeaway is don't romanticize water cleansing. And there can be lessons that come from the experience, but there are also real downsides and risks, especially with prolonged fat cleansing. And it isn't appropriate for everybody. So for me, the next challenge isn't seeing how long I can go without food. It's proven that I can build, discipline while food is still in front of me. And that's the journey I'm on now. I know I've been struggling the past few days of this momentum crashing and falling, but we're gonna bounce back, man. I never want to go back to being three again, and I never will, God willingly. But just taking one day at a time, and just need to do better. This week I kind of was on cruise control, but the next time is now. And yeah, so that's what I want to say. But shout out to y'all. I love y'all, and my soul out.